NTV, turning on your world.
All right, a very good morning to you. It is the 24th day of November 2022, and of course it is a very important day, and it is something that I think maybe we should start observing, and that is Thanksgiving. So maybe I should start by saying happy Thanksgiving, everybody. And of course, just in case you're wondering, okay, Thanksgiving, what is this day all about? Well, not to worry, because we'll be talking about it and letting you know the ins and outs as far as Thanksgiving is concerned and why this day is very important. Because Thanksgiving, the most anticipated and beloved days in the US, is celebrated each year on the fourth Thursday in November. So Thanksgiving is celebrated to say thanks and recognize the sacrifices and blessings of the past year. Later, with more urbanization, Thanksgiving became a day for people to get together with their friends and family to celebrate the day with a scrumptious feast. So, of course, I know, as in the country, we don't really, celebrate the day or mark the day. But of course, maybe it's time we start, okay? And just dedicate a day, and of course, be grateful for the things that, we're grateful for. So, what we're asking you today, right here on Your World, is what are you grateful for? All right, or what are you thankful for? That is what we want to know on this particular day. So interact with us as always on our social media platforms at NTV Kenya, both on Facebook and on Twitter. And please tag me at Lubembe_Winnie. And of course, let's get to see what are you grateful for or what are you thankful for on this Thanksgiving day. So welcome to the show. My name is Winnie Lubembe, and if you ask me, there's so many things that I'm thankful for, but one of the things that I am thankful for this day is that we have Deborah here because I know so many of us are asking about the whole visa issue, all right, the US visa. And of course, she says, I'll answer all your questions as far as visa is concerned. So whatever question that you have as far as visa is concerned, then feel free to do so and send them our way. That is on Facebook as well as on Twitter. Remember, it's at NTV Kenya. The hashtag to use is Your World. And of course, without further ado, Deborah Miller, Consul General, and of course, Head of Visa Section at the U.S. Embassy. It's so good to see you this morning.
Good morning.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving
How
to you.
are you feeling this morning?
I am happy to be here and thrilled to be able to talk about the holiday of Thanksgiving. It is my favorite holiday.
Yeah.
And I'm also happy to be here to talk about a lot of the good news that I think Kenyans will be grateful to hear about the visa operations at the U.S. Embassy.
We'll be thankful for that by the end of the show. So I'm just going to ask first questions first. What are you thankful for this morning?
Oh, I always reflect on this morning and on the eve of Thanksgiving about what I have to be thankful for. And we don't have enough time, I think, for me to talk about all of those things.
It's a long list?
It's a long list.
Okay.
I mean, grateful for the things that I think we're all grateful for. Our families, our friends, our health.
Yeah.
And particularly in the post-COVID era, to be able to get together with our family and friends. I'm very grateful to be here in Kenya.
Yes.
I think it's a place that I've known about since when I was a small child, watching all the wildlife shows and things. And so to be able to come here and have the privilege and honor of representing my country and also working with my colleagues and my counterparts in the Kenyan government to make our relationship stronger. I'm very thankful for that opportunity. It's a real privilege, as I said, and an honor to do so.
Absolutely. What is your favorite thing about Kenya?
Oh, I have to tell you, I was struck almost from the moment I got here about the friendliness of the people.
Yes.
I think that is something that Americans and Kenyans share, and I think that is really the bedrock of our great relationship is just our openness, our friendliness, our willingness to work together, our open-mindedness. I really was struck by that almost from the moment I got here. When I was even setting up my cell phone, I thought I walked out of the shop with the person who helped me as like my new best friend, because they were so welcoming when they realized that I had just arrived in the country.
And,
so,
and
that theme has continued as I've been here for
over
the last number of months, just meeting so many wonderful, friendly people. And of course, I've had some opportunities, I hope more in the future, to travel around and just see the natural beauty of that Kenya is justifiably world famous for.
Really, really beautiful. It's really, really beautiful. All right, and of course, I'm sure if you have noticed right here on set, we have turkey, all right? And of course, Deborah will be helping us to really understand, first of all, why turkey? Why not chicken or anything of this sort?
You know, that's a great question. I think it may have had something to do with the abundance of turkeys at the time of the first Thanksgiving. I don't know for sure, but it is certainly the centerpiece of many, many dinner tables that we'll have today around the United States. You know, the United States is also a country of immigrants. Even since that first Thanksgiving, you know, people have been bringing their culinary traditions to the United States as they've come there to settle. And so I think, you know, Thanksgiving is centered on the meal and bringing people around the table to enjoy, you know, family recipes, traditional foods, and to share in that bounty. And so, while you'll find turkey on many plates and tables around the United States, I think you'll also find a variety of other things that reflect the family and the cultural traditions of many, many Americans that date back maybe generations.
Generations and generations, you know, before. And of course, it's not just turkey alone. We also have like some accompaniments, you know, as well. And of course, we'll be carving the turkey a little bit later on the show. And it's interesting because, you know, most of us, we just thought as you just cut the turkey, but that's not the case.
Well, I'm going to try. It may be a lesson in how you shouldn't do it, because my father was the person who always did that in our family.
Who would do the carving of the turkey?
I've done it a few times. I can't say I'm an expert, but we'll give it a try.
We'll try. I mean, we'll be fine. You and we both. All right. But let's just trace back to Thanksgiving. Because like I said, I mean, here in the country, people would say, yeah, but we try at the end of the day to just reflect on you know, on the day and see what we're grateful for, what we're thankful for. So why dedicate one specific day, you know, to be grateful and express Thanksgiving? So let's trace back.
You know, I can tell you what we learned in school. I'm sure there's a grain of truth into it, and also, you know, there comes a kind of a legend thing. But you know, the first Thanksgiving were some recent settlers to the United States, the Pilgrims in the northeastern part of the United States. They experienced a bountiful harvest, because this is the harvest time in the United States, and they came together with, in the community at large with the Native American community and also the new settlers to celebrate this harvest. So I think the origin of Thanksgiving is in the harvest. And when you have a good harvest, you're thankful for that, because it assures your well-being throughout the remainder of the year. It didn't become a national holiday as it is now in the United States until after the Civil War in the 1860s. Which of course was a terrible, terrible time in the United States. But after that, Abraham Lincoln and the successive presidential administrations saw this as a way to promote unity in the United States. And I think since that time, it's evolved. And in my lifetime, you know, you know, I think of Thanksgiving as a time for the family to come together from wherever that it is that they are, to you know, everybody helps in the cooking. You use recipes. You use grandma's recipe. You use your auntie's recipe. You use, and the menu is very, very, very hotly debated. Everybody has a favorite. And how you prepare the turkey, or how you prepare the stuffing, or even how you prepare the cranberries is a point of negotiation often. And then you cook it, and then there's, of course, another part of the tradition is watching some of the parades that we have in cities. You may be familiar with the New York City Macy's parade with the big balloons and that marches down, I believe it's Fifth Avenue in New York City. And so you'd gather around in the morning to watch that on the television. And other cities have parades too. And as you know, you're running in and out of the kitchen, helping your family members prepare, and then of course there's also American football to be watched.
Like football.
Yes, which is another part of the American tradition. We could have a whole other show on that.
Yes.
But those are the kinds of things that I think of. But it all comes down to is just being with my family.
Absolutely. And listen, life sometimes happens, and people get busy. And in as much as you might sort of like stay connected with family over phone, you know, just talking via phone, but there's that sense of happiness and harmony when you all sit together over a meal. And of course, we also talked about an aspect of unity, which is a good thing because we need that, especially now, you know, not only here in the country, but, you know, across the globe, really, you know, as far as just uniting everybody and living in, you know, in harmony at the same time. There's a very interesting story behind the turkey and pardoning of the turkey, where the president would pardon the turkey. And what I read was initially it was just a turkey or maybe two presented to the president is what they were supposed to have. But then, you know, the tradition started when the president said, no, we're going to pardon this one. Just take us through that concept.
Well, I think you described it. You know, again, I'm not really sure of the origins. It's, again, something I've always been aware of, that turkeys are brought to the White House, and then the president comes out and grants them clemency, and then there's always the photos of them walking around the White House lawn. You know, I think it's part of the spirit of the holiday of generosity and reflection and forgiveness. I mean, you know, there's always friction in families. You know, no matter how much you love someone, there's always going to be disappointment.
That one uncle or that one auntie or that one sibling.
And so, you know, Thanksgiving is a day to put all that aside. You know, and be thankful that, you know, that you have this opportunity to be with your family and your friends. I mean, you define who your family is in some respects as well.
Who
and
are.
So I think that might be part of it. I might be making that up, but I do think if it's not part of it, it should be.
No, it's not part of the tradition, but of course, yes, it should be, like you're saying, because at the end of the day, like we said, life happens, everything happens, and we just, if we can get together and forget everything else aside, that would be a really good thing. I'm just trying to understand if that can be like a global thing. Wouldn't that be like a great thing to have that one day where we put everything else aside and just come together as, you know, global community to just express, you know, our thanks for everything, you know, businesses, relations, in all those things. Wouldn't that be a great thing?
Well, you mentioned it in your opening remarks that you thought that this would be something for Kenya to consider, and I heartily endorse that. Again, I think I mentioned that this is my favorite holiday because it is centered on family, on coming together, on gratitude and reflection, all things that I think you know, are important for us. Not just as Americans or Kenyans, but as people who live in this world. And you know, the coming together part, I think, is particularly poignant now because of the COVID restrictions. You know, that we endured over the last couple of years.
It's been crazy.
Where, you know, people didn't see their families because of the concerns about transmission of the disease. And so as we're in a phase of this where we seem to have, you know, it's still out there, we still have to be concerned, but there have been such advances that have been made in treatments and vaccines that allow us to come together. And maybe this is that moment where we say, okay, after realizing that we couldn't get together, that now we're in a moment that we can come together.
Yeah, absolutely. And how do you think we can get there to that level where, I mean, it doesn't have to be specific day, but if we can get that day, that would be amazing. But even in like our day-to-day interactions with one another, you know, with different you know, countries, what do you think would it take to get there? Like one step at a time in our own little way? Does it have to be like a major
I know. Well, that's a fantastic question. I wish I had the answer, because if I did, I would certainly share it. You know, I think you know, patience and compassion are two very important things. You know, to reflect on, you know, there but for the grace of God go I, that we're all human beings and we all share our common humanity of our family and wanting to be part of a community and things like that. And I think, again, being pushed apart during the COVID periods where many of us had to isolate from family, friends, or even from just coworkers, that coming back together and realizing how important that is for the health of ourselves, the health of our communities, and the health of our global community as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, because like we said, there's a lot of things that are happening, and sometimes, causes a lot of friction and tension, not only amongst families, but also communities, countries, as well as the entire globe. So if we can, just do something about it and just set everything aside and just humanity first, what you talked about, humanity first, compassion, that will be a great step to start from. Now, when it comes to then Thanksgiving back to the family, do we have like a specific recipe? I know you mentioned we could use grandma's recipe, we could use auntie's, but is there something that should be on the table, okay, aside from the turkey, but is there something else that should be on the table primarily people would consider this is a meal specifically for Thanksgiving?
If you asked 10 different Americans, you'd get 10 different answers.
Okay. All right.
I can tell you, in our family, cooking the turkey was, was my mom's primary thing. Role. And then when she passed away, it passed to me. Yeah. And I'm very, very passionate about how that turkey is prepared, and no one can dissuade me from the brining, putting it in a brine overnight, putting it in an oven that's been prepared a certain way, and the same thing goes for stuffing, whether you make it with cornbread or regular bread, or you put chestnuts, or you put sausage, or everybody has their own way, and they will swear to you that it is the best way. I mean, for turkeys, you can fry them, you can roast them, you can broil them, you can put them on the grill. And everyone you'll find an adherent to every one of those things.
Absolutely.
So, but I think this is the most traditional way, is roasted in the oven.
I'm really tempted to ask what is the secret behind your way of preparing turkey, but then again,
Well, I will tell you
it's a secret, right?
It's a secret. It's a secret.
Because everybody has their own way.
Yes.
There was a conversation that we were having yesterday in the office, and we were just asking, how long does it take to prepare the turkey? Just make sure that it is well cooked, because it can be tough, right?
Yes.
It can really. So how long does that take?
Well, it depends on the size of the bird.
Okay.
It depends on whether you stuff the bird or not.
All right.
I'll give you one of my secrets for preparing it, because turkey dries out very quickly when you cook it.
Okay.
So you need to generate a lot of moisture, and so I usually put into the stuff it airing in the cavity of the bird, chopped up apples and onions, which are very moist, and generate a lot of steam when they're in the heat of the oven, and it permeates up into the bird. And of course, brining it overnight also adds a lot of moisture.
Helps with the moisture.
Yes.
All right.
But you do have to spend a lot of time in the kitchen eyeballing
just
it,
making sure,
because you don't want to make sure that you don't overcook it, because
that's true.
It is.
So in your case, how long does that take? Hours, 3 hours, 2 hours?
It can take up to 4 to 6 hours depending on the bird. Yes, you want to cook it slowly.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a commitment to cooking a turkey.
Yeah, but it's a good thing, because you see at that time you're not too concerned about the time, because again you are with family, you are with friends.
Oh yes.
And there's so many other things that are being prepared even as the turkey cooks.
Yes.
All right. So we have 1 minute before we go on a break. Actually seconds. But of course the question will be, so for us as a people who, again, we don't really, consider that one specific day to be, to express our Thanksgiving, how then would you say we could borrow this culture and then, to just take that day? Because like I said earlier on, sometimes life happens, things get busy, people are running out and about just to make sure that we get, for example, food on the table and feed our families and, make sure that there is what is needed to be in the house. So would you say very quickly, and then we go on a break, and then when we come back, we'll handle all the visa, aspects. Yes.
Well, as I said earlier, the timing of Thanksgiving in November follows the harvest time in the United States. In the northeastern part of the United States.
All right.
I think that's a very appropriate time because it does reflect on nature's bounty and the natural blessings that are provided to us. They were provided to us as Americans at that time. If there's a similar time in Kenya where
there is, like
where you celebrate the harvest, or it's a time where the fertility of the land is at its height, that might be a good time. That's just my idea. Obviously, it's a decision for Kenyans to make. But
to make. Okay.
If you were going to follow the way the Americans thought about this, that would be my suggestion.
I mean, it's interesting because right now farmers in the North Rift have actually harvested maize, so could be a good time. But we have like different seasons.
Yes.
So maybe I mean, or maybe each family can decide on their own. This is a day that we choose to express our thanks, right? For family. All right. So how about we go on a break? But like we promised, we'll be curving the turkey. It's not cutting. It is curving the turkey. There's a specific way that is done, and of course Deborah will show us how. Yes, she says your dad used to do a lot of the curving, but she learned a few things, right? You'll do well, all right? But of course, when we come back from the break, we'll be handling all the visa questions. I know most of you have so many questions as far as the US visa is concerned. Deborah said today we have good news, okay? So you do not want to miss the good news. Stay with us. This is Your World, but keep sending your questions on our social media handles. If you want to call in live and ask Deborah directly your question, feel free to do so. But of course, all that is coming up after the break. Stay with us. This is Your World.
Enjoy early Christmas offers. Join us on our open day on 26th November 2022. Call us on 0790-771677 or SMS LAND to 21595 for more info.
His legs are huge. As for
Santon, a fun new world of flavor, fruity freshness in every sip.
Enjoy early Christmas offers at Longonot View Gardens, a prime property by Soil Merchants overlooking Mount Longonot along the Maimahiu Naivasha Road. These are 1/8 acre plots selling from 185,000 Kenya shillings. The plot's proximity to major infrastructural developments makes it one of the fastest growing and most sought after areas in Kenya. Water and electricity are available with schools and health facilities nearby. Join us on our open day on 26th November 2022. Call us on 0790-771677 or SMS LAND to 21595 for more info. Soil Merchants. Buy today. Build today.
The golden rules for a new beginning for a clear skin. Brought to you by Mentholatum Acnes. Do not let acne steal your beauty. Use Acne Care Kit to treat pimples, remove excess sebum, and reduce acne inflammation. The kit consists of Acne's creamy wash, soothing toner, and sealing gel. It's safe and gentle on skin types.
Mentholatum Acnes, a new beginning for clear skin.
It's mixed feelings, but majorly excited.
It's a journey that has been years in the making. Yes, this week, Daring Abroad follows Victoria Kwamboka from Kisii to the US for further studies, courtesy of the Kenya Airlift Program.
As we all know, the US is the land of opportunities.
It's our joy seeing these young people lives get transformed.
On our Back Home segment, the amazing uses of drones in many fields as Fahari Aviation ups its game in drone operations and training.
We offer trainings in photography, mapping, surveillance, infrastructure inspections.
Get EasyFX today, a secure and convenient platform that allows you to do your Forex requirements in real time. Buy and sell Forex at the touch of a button. Sign up for EasyFX today.
We know your flavor, and that's how you inspire us to always deliver the best quality meals made fresh with locally sourced ingredients. Galitos, bold African flavor.
Get the Galitos Hot Box and a 500 ml Coke soda at just 699 Kenya shillings.
Welcome back. Glad you're still with us. And of course, the show is Your World. It's all about Thanksgiving today. And I'm pretty sure you've learned a lot from the first session as far as Thanksgiving, why the day is essential, and how, we can borrow a little bit, of the same as far as Thanksgiving is concerned. And of course, Deborah, is here. Deborah Miller, Consul General, Head of Visa Section at the U.S. Embassy right here in Kenya, helping us really understand, what Thanksgiving is all about. And of course, like we said, we have a turkey in studio, and of course, we'll be carving the turkey in, look at that, right? Okay, so we'll be carving that, in the next few minutes. But of course, the question that we're asking you today, and that is, what are you thankful for? Evans Ochieng says, hello, Lubembe. Evans Ochieng from Embakasi. I'm thankful for having a family that is happy and healthy. I thank God. All right. And of course, we also have Wendy_Rizimbi on Twitter, who says, hi, I'm Wendy from Meru. I'm grateful for being alive because I've been battling with depression since last year, and sometimes I've been having suicidal thoughts. I'm grateful for my boyfriend, who has always been there. Isn't that beautiful? Thank you very much, Wendy, as well as Evans again. So keep sending your tweets, on our social media platforms. What are you thankful for this day? And we'll be looking at them before we end the conversation. But of course, to a conversation that most of us are actually waiting to hear. And Deborah promised good news today, and that is as far as visa is concerned. I know, and of course, if you have tried to apply for the same, there have been delays, over time. And of course, Deborah, the question that so many Kenyans, would want to know was, why the delays? The first one was what? The appointment dates that, again, we had earlier on before this was revised was 2024.
Yes, that was true.
Right?
Sadly.
Yes.
And also, sadly, this is not a problem that is exclusive to Kenya. It was a worldwide problem caused by the COVID pandemic. We were not able to interview people around the world at all of our missions. So this time, this delay in getting into your appointment, this phenomenon sadly happened across the world. The Department of State, U.S. embassies have committed themselves around the world to reducing these wait times. Through adding resources, expanding programs that allow you to be waived from an interview. And specifically here in Kenya, and here comes the good news, is under Ambassador Whitman's leadership, we've been able to reduce the wait time from that over 2-year period that you talked to just about 2 to 3 months right now.
All right.
And we've done that through a variety of things. Most importantly is if you, as a Kenyan, have had a visa that expired within the last 4 years, you have the opportunity to submit your documents, your application, your passport for adjudication without coming in for an interview.
All right.
Under this program. That previously it was just 1 year. And so this allows a lot of people to submit their documents and get their visa back in an expedited manner, which was very important, I think, for bringing that wait time down. We've also implemented and expanded our expedited interview program. If you do have an urgent need to travel to the United States, you know, related to a business meeting, an urgent conference, or even you know, an illness of a family member in the United States, you can go to our website and request that expedited appointment. I encourage you to be very, very thorough in explaining why, so we can make an informed decision about your request. And we've also expanded our interviewing hours and number of appointments that we make available. So we're continuing to make progress. We hope to continue to bring that time down. Because as Ambassador Whitman has said, since almost the moment she arrived here, that this is her priority. And again, under her leadership and guidance, we've been able to bring that wait time down and hope to continue that momentum.
Yeah, and not have people wait for too long. And
no, that no one was going to defend that. That was an indefensible length of time. And as I said, you know, we've taken concrete steps to make it easier. I mean, I'm a person who's been doing visa work for over 20 years as a member of the U.S. Foreign Service, and I deeply appreciate and understand and see the value in fostering people-to-people contacts as strengthening the relationship between our two countries.
Absolutely.
So I'm committed to implementing this highest priority of Ambassador Whitman.
Okay, all right. Not have wait. You know, people don't have to wait until like
I agree.
2024. All right. I'm just going to read very quickly. You know, one tweet from this lady called Marion Duta, who tagged at U.S. Embassy Kenya and U.S. Ambassador Kenya and said, "Today I'm really sad and I choose to come to Twitter as the only place to communicate with the embassy. The wait times for spousal visa CR1 stroke IR1 interviews at the U.S. Embassy Nairobi as of now stand at 11 to 12 months. I personally started my CR1 process in December 2020, and of course it was a long thread. And goes to say, you know, again, U.S. Embassy Kenya to give family visas more priority. It's really heartbreaking to see visit visas getting 2,000 interview slots, DVS getting thousands of slots, and CR1 stroke IR1 getting just a few slots. And of course goes on again to say the son has never met the family despite, you know, them being married. So says, please, can we have this? So when it comes to like the spousal, you know, whole aspect, is there like a priority? Because again, like you said, emergencies that can be expedited, but then again, what about the service?
Yeah, that particular individual is looking for an immigrant visa, which is also another one of our priorities. We are also committing more resources to bringing those people in for their interviews as well. I'm sympathetic that these are, you know, these are family-related visas, and on Thanksgiving of all days, we want to talk about reuniting families. I beg this individual and other individuals' patience as we work through all the cases. We are committed to getting to that case and making sure that family can be together.
Absolutely reunited, because like you said, again, it's Thanksgiving, we need families together. All right, and of course, I can see your time is far much spent, so how about we cross over?
Okay, I'm ready. If you are, I'm ready to give it a try.
I am so ready, so let's do it. Let's try.
Okay.
And see, I have never done this, so.
All right.
All right, but let's see. So, okay. What is this? I'm not even going to pretend that I know.
Okay. This is called stuffing, or depending on, or dressing, depending on where you are from in the United States.
All right.
Often it's prepared inside the bird, but often, you know, it's just prepared in the oven.
Okay.
Its base is usually some kind of bread, cornbread, white bread, wheat bread.
Yes.
And then you add in spices and herbs.
All right.
Sometimes chestnuts. Sometimes celery, onions. Again,
whatever it is.
Every family has a different recipe.
Okay, all right.
And so that is also, you know, a must-have on many tables.
On many tables, and the aroma is just okay. Yes. All right, and then we have cranberry sauce.
Cranberry sauce, yes. This is also another staple that you'll find on most tables.
All right.
It was always on our table.
Yeah.
Again, there's preferences. This is a very smooth cranberry sauce. Others will have it in like they keep the berries whole.
All right.
Some people will put in like orange peel or something like that because it's a very, very tart berry.
Okay.
And so you need to cut the tartness.
Cut it down, yeah, a little
and the
bit.
level of the tartness is also part of the equation
enjoy
and the
the meal,
negotiation
right?
around
Yes.
the table.
Again.
So, and then of course
All
we
right,
have the
and
turkey.
You have the star.
We have the star of many tables.
Of many tables. And look at that. That is ginormous, if you can use that. Whew. Okay, we're just going to remove this.
Yes.
Well, you know what? It's
it's in there good and tight.
Yes.
There we go.
Good. Okay, so this says U.S. Embassy Nairobi wishes you a happy Thanksgiving. Hashtag U.S. Embassy Nairobi Thanksgiving. All right, this is what this says. So we say thank you for bringing
welcome.
the turkey
Most welcome.
to our studios today. All right, so we're just gonna get into it. Okay, so never mind.
They don't usually come wrapped in plastic when they come to the table.
But we just had to. Okay, so we're just gonna go into it. Oh, okay. All right, there we go. I mean, look at that. Isn't this looks
Yes, the presentation
really
of the food on the table is also very important.
Like they usually say, you first eat with your eyes.
Yes, yes. Thanksgiving is very much a part of that.
Yeah. All right. So is there a specific way? Okay, I'm just gonna hand you over the knife. Do the honors. Show us how we curve.
Okay.
How we curve the turkey. You will do great. You will do great.
So you know, there's also part of the debate as to whether you like the dark meat that comes on the legs and the thigh area of the bird, or if you like the white meat that comes on the breast area.
Wait, it's two different? Okay, I just thought it's one. Okay, so there's the dark and then there's
it's just different kinds of, and it has different flavors to it a little bit.
All right.
So
where do you want to start? Okay.
I'm going to start by cutting away here the leg.
Yes.
And so if you were to just break apart the leg here, this sometimes is often the part of great debate is who gets the turkey leg.
Okay.
And you know, it's usually the elders who get to choose first, and so the children get to choose last.
All right. Okay.
Anyway, so we're going to try and do this again.
I'm not way, like we said.
I hope I do my dad proud.
You will. You will. I have faith in you. I have confidence in you.
And so you want to cut the breast this way, and so some people, and I'm going to try that, cut in a little bit to give yourself sort of a ledge here, and then you want to
go in, and
then you just sort of slice down here to get a piece of the turkey.
All right.
And I'm going to put this right here.
Yes, let's just have that there. Okay.
And then you just keep slicing it down there, and you can see this one's pretty juicy.
Yes. So does everybody cut their own part?
Oh, no. Who gets to cut the turkey it's usually, again, as I said, it was my father who did it at our table.
Yeah.
And then when he passed away, it was to my brother. And so in our family here. So I've not done this too often, but I hope I'm doing
you did a pretty good job. You did a pretty good, because like we said, sometimes it can be tough. So you're getting in there. You did well. You did well.
Yeah.
Yes. And that's really, I'm just again, I'm gonna have to try this. You know?
You want to get in here and give it
curving, I don't trust myself too much. So I'm gonna let you have that.
Okay.
I'm gonna try a little tiny piece of turkey as we say goodbye, because like we say, time is not on our side. So I'm just gonna have this part, very tiny part. This is really good. It's not as tough as I thought. So in my mind, I thought this was going to be really tough. But no.
No, if it's been brined and cooked properly, it can be absolutely delicious.
This is really good. Well, it's really good. So as we say goodbye and as we say happy Thanksgiving, what would you say to all, the people watching us today? This is your camera.
Okay.
What are you going to say to the people watching us today as far as the visa and Thanksgiving is concerned?
Well, I'll just reiterate the happy Thanksgiving greetings from all of us at the U.S. Embassy Nairobi to everyone here in Kenya. We're glad to be here and to help cement the relationship between our two countries, and I hope you'll take this time, as we all will do as Americans, to reflect upon all the blessings that we have.
Absolutely.
And thank you so much for hosting me.
Thank you for coming and bringing us the turkey. I mean, this is my first time, I'm just going to say it, of tasting turkey, and so far I loved it. So thank you very much for bringing the Turkey video to us, and also bringing the good news as far as the visa, because like we said, a number of people really expressed frustration. But again, the good news is you don't have to wait that much longer up until 2024, right?
Yes,
like
absolutely.
Said, 2 to 3 months, we should be able to have your visa. All right. So of course, for more information, you know what to do. Visit the U.S. Embassy and of course get all the info, right?
Yes, please go to our website and get all the information. It's
Absolutely.
right there that you need.
Absolutely. All right. So allow us to say goodbye right here on Your World. My name is Winnie Lubembe. Of course, a special thanks to Deborah and the entire U.S. Embassy for again coming by today and of course bringing us the Turkey, but most importantly, helping us really understand what's going on as far as the visa is concerned. And now you know what you need to do. Visit the website, get all the information, and the wait has now been reduced. All right. So have yourselves a good one. I'll see you next week on Monday. Tomorrow is Radio Meets TV, and of course you're going to enjoy the show. But for now, stay safe. Happy Thanksgiving. You can borrow this tradition in your family, at home, or even as the entire country. All right. But for now, goodbye. God bless, and have yourselves an amazing day ahead. Happy Thanksgiving. Goodbye, everyone.